Today I'm taking you on a proper adventure to one of Europe's most magical and exclusive Christmas markets. Held on a monastic island in one of Bavaria's most beautiful lakes, the Christkindlmarkt auf der Fraueninsel is bucket list worthy. But without the right knowledge, you'll never make it, because journeying to this island is no easy task. And with the market only open for 2 Advent weekends per year, there's no room for mistakes. So let's quickly walk through the logistics as we begin our travel, starting naturally at the Munich Hauptbahnhof as we board a regional train to the closest lakeshore town of Prien am Chiemsee. From there, we should be able to get over to the port and board a ferry to Christmas Island. It is going to be a few connections, but don't be intimidated. All of the public transit is timed together, so your journey should be swift and easy, as long as you know the way. Let's get going. All right, another fantastic train journey in the bag. It only took about an hour to arrive here at Prien am Chiemsee, but our journey is not over because this town is not actually on the waterfront. We're gonna need to find a way to get down there. Okay, I didn't want to mention it because I didn't think it was running today, but they have a steam engine that runs between this town and the waterfront. I can finally reveal it because I think we're gonna be able to get a seat. I don't actually think you need to run, but if there was ever a reason to run, it would be a steam engine, right? I thought this was only for summer, but it is running today. I'm so excited. How cool is that? I thought we were gonna have to walk, which, you know, any follower of the channel knows I have no problem with, but who would walk when you can take this? Would you guys buy the tickets so I can look at it? All right, I'm gonna get some sneaky footage before it departs. Oh, that's so awesome. I am being told by Camille that we're about to miss the boat if I don't leave and get in line, so I guess it's time to board my second favorite mode of transportation. Ferries. Oh, that's a pretty ferry too. Look at that. Who needs a Christmas market when you've got all these amazing transportation options? Not me. Now, for some reason, in the middle of December, everybody is choosing to sit inside. I can't imagine why, but not me. I cannot get enough of these views. Being out on the water is one of my favorite things. And it's why I was so excited for this Christmas market. I mean, not only is it on an island with a monastery, but you also get to go there with so many interesting methods of transportation. It's a whole day of fun, if you ask me. I think it's wonderful though. Now, I don't know if you can see this on camera. I don't have a zoom lens with me today, but the Fraueninsel is right there, along with the majestic nunnery. Should be there in just a few minutes. The wind is really picking up. I am starting to get a little cold. I might regret sitting out here later, but for the views, it's so cool. Coming into port with that building in the background, even if the market is terrible, which it won't be, this has already been an amazing day. And I'll be honest with you, at this point, I do feel a little bit like a salty sea dog, even though this isn't salty and I'm just cold. I want to call myself a salty sea dog. Oh, you can see the market. I can't even imagine how many times Camille has had to cut the word incredible out of this video already, because almost every single time I talk to the camera, that's all I can say. What else is there to say? I mean, just look at this. So welcome to the Fraueninsel and its amazing Christmas market. Let's disembark. Man, that was a really awesome ferry. I'm gonna need some time to think about it, but which was my favorite mode of transportation today? Steam engine or ferry? It's gonna be hard to decide. And so now, with all of that transportation behind us, welcome to the Fraueninsel. But now, one more thing before we actually get out into the island itself. Don't forget to take a picture of the map and the currently up-to-date boarding times for going back on the boat. You're not gonna wanna miss that, so make sure to grab yourself a little bit of logistics before you head out and get your marzipan treats. Servus, kann ich bitte ein Winzz Glühwein haben?
Ja, weiß oder rot?
Rot bitte. Bezahlen mit Karte, das ist cool. It's very rare to be able to pay with cards, so I'm going to take the opportunity when I can.
Vielen Dank und einfach die
Vielen,
Karte
vielen Dank.
zurückbringen.
Ja, klar. Danke. Prost. There's something about getting a Glühwein at a Christmas market that just makes it that much better. Probably because the hot mug is finally bringing some life back into my hands after that boat ride. But the really important thing is how does it taste? And I'm pretty excited because I love the branding on this one. They have a really cool cap at my favorite hat store that I've always wanted, so if I really like this, maybe I'll get the matching hat. Sometimes I feel like they water down the alcohol content in Glühwein, but this is lovely. You need to try some of this before I drink it all. Now, during the height of summer, you're supposed to be able to see the Alps from here, and I imagine that would look absolutely gorgeous, but this is a German winter. It's foggy, it's overcast, it's cold, and I'm just glad it isn't raining. That all being said, I actually think it gives a really cool, moody ambiance for when you're on the ferry and walking around this old abbey, so all in all, I'm well happy. So we've made our way over to the other side of the island from whence we disembarked from the boat. And I tell you what, we are spoiled for choice in terms of food now. We have all kinds of amazing things. I mean, of course, the Flammkuchen, the Flammbrot, like you'd expect. I smell some really good fish, and there are some very cool drinks too. I've never seen Apfel Glühwein before. You know I'm gonna need to try that out. And I think they have a rum and Eierlikör punch as well. So let's get snacking. All right, so I know I'm already one Glühwein in, but I have never seen an Apfel Glühwein, an apple Glühwein before in my life. So I knew I had to jump on it and try it. Plus, my hands were getting cold again. And this one in particular also has a little bit of extra apple spirit from over in Normandy, Calvados, thrown in, and it should make this extra delicious. Only one way to find out though. Prost. I usually do not like apples. That is fantastic. I might actually like this more than at least Weiss Glühwein. I don't know if it will top Rot Glühwein for me, but this is such a solid contender. I'm gonna have to look out for this more around the market today and forever. This is great. So it's finally time to break my fast. 2 Glühweins in and I've had nothing to eat, so we need to fix that. We've gone with Flammbrot, which is naturally bread, a nice cream, some bacon and garden cress. Simple and lovely. I will say I am getting looked at a lot in this market, and usually in Germany it's with scowls, but today it's with smiles. Where am I? Italy? The Italians are always really cool about me filming. All right, let's go for it. That is gonna end up all in my beard, but it's delicious. And one of the things that really sets this market apart, at least in my mind, from the massive markets in Nuremberg and say Munich, is just how local and friendly everyone really is. The booths are managed by the people who are actually making the crafts, and they are so lovely to talk to and so inviting. And it creates just such a personal and friendly atmosphere. Oh, your stuff is very beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. So that is everything is handmade, 100%
Yeah.
handmade.
Nice.
It's casted by ceramic, and then afterwards painted with acrylic color.
Yeah, I mean, the colors and patterns are really lovely. Is this your first time at this market, or do you do this one?
Actually, yeah,
It is?
We have been a lot of markets already, but
Yeah.
this is really first time at this island.
Very cool. So what do you think of this market versus some of the others?
It's amazing.
Very cool. Oh, have a fantastic day. And if you've been keeping up with any of my other Christmas market videos, then you know what's coming up next. Time to get some Schnapps samples. Was empfehlen Sie?
Alles.
So, was empfehlen Sie Esther?
Ich würde Ihnen den Wintertraum empfehlen. Das ist winterliche Zwetschge mit Gewürz.
Oh, that's really lovely. It's a little bit sweet as well. Könnten wir probieren die Haselnusslikör auch?
Haselnusslikör.
Ja, bitteschön. Dankeschön. Now, if you did actually watch my video in Ravenna Gorge, then you'll know at the last liquor stand, it came down to the winter style and the hazelnut style. Those are always two of my favorites. Let's see how it tastes. That is incredible. Very amaretto-y. You might actually really like it. You're gonna love it, I promise.
It's really good.
That was incredible, right?
I love amaretto. This is actually
And last time you did not like any of the Schnapps, so I think we found something you really like. Das war viel Spaß, vielen Dank. Ciao. Also, I would highly recommend getting here at the beginning of the market, 12 p.m. like me, because man, it is starting to get crowded. I wouldn't want to arrive here late, that's for sure. You won't find a place. We were just given an excellent pro tip. Camille is on the lookout for some good fish. I mean, we're on an island after all. We're surrounded by water. The seafood, well, lake food, must be amazing. And one of the stall workers told us to go to the highest point in the island where you'll get the best fish sandwich of your life. I am very partial to an old map, and they have a very cool print of old Munich with some very recognizable buildings, so I don't think I can resist. How pretty is that? Yeah, so 35. Cool. I'm probably not going to live in Munich forever, and getting a cool print of its famous sights from a truly epic Christmas market, I think that'll go on the wall just nicely. Vielen Dank. Vielen Dank. If it wasn't for this fire, I'm pretty sure my hands would have frozen off by now. And I suppose this might be the second time I'm apologizing for not having a zoom lens in this video, but if you could look behind me, you would see the other main island in Chiemsee, where King Ludwig II, the same famous man from Neuschwanstein, built an epic palace. It's actually been on my list for years to come to this lake and make a cool video about it, but I've never managed to make the time. There are just too many places to show you. So maybe if you're interested in that, we'll come back in the summer and we can check out the palace as well. So comment below if you'd like to see that. Now, as much as those fires have been warming my hands up, I'm absolutely freezing now to my core. So let's warm up inside the island brewery. That brewery was lovely, if not a little loud to film, so I hope you don't mind the voiceover. But the beer was fantastic, the Käsespätzle hit the spot. I am ready to dive back into the market, especially that abbey, as I think it's about time we talk about how this island got its very unique name. And so let's get serious just for a second and learn about how this amazing island got its very unique name, Fraueninsel, or Woman's Island. Named appropriately because the abbey behind me has been home to a cloister of nuns since 781 AD. And the name also makes a pretty great contrast to Herreninsel, just across the way, famous for King Ludwig II's palatial home. It also had a monastery there too, naturally with monks. So Herreninsel for the religiously minded men and Fraueninsel for the women. It's not exactly a puzzle, but it's pretty cool to learn about the heritage of these things. And could this quintessential near from home video be possibly complete without taking you to a scenic graveyard? So for any of you out there with your bingo cards ready, that's steam engine, ferry, graveyard. Your row is complete. It's also entirely worth mentioning that this abbey is still fully functional. There are residential nuns living here to this day, and regular church services are still held in the building behind me. In fact, there's one going on right now. And even though I must admit myself, I am not religiously minded, for those that are, being able to come to this amazing island and take a service in there, that is very cool. Though it's not all fun and games, as I am taking on the influencer role of recommending that you come here, I also need to take it upon myself to remind you that these are people's homes. This is not just Disneyland or a tourist island. People live here, as amazing as that is. And so make sure to always respect the path. Don't go wandering into people's gardens because, I mean, they have to ask for permission to run this market every year. And it only takes a few bad apples to ruin the whole bunch for everyone for years to come. So be respectful to the people who live here. Another one of my favorite observations about this market in general is that it's not just confined to one small market square, which can often happen. Instead, there are just stalls all around the island. So you really need to explore the whole place, and you never know what you're going to find around the next corner. Oh no, it's a big cat! Oh, he's like my cat, but outdoors and brave and big. A baby for Screech! That is the apex predator of this island. And don't you forget it. That's a great cat.
Hi, servus. Was haben Sie für Fisch Semmel? Alles Fleisch oder?
Das ist geräuchert
Aha, ah, okay.
und das ist Matjes.
Ja, geräuchert bitte. Oh my God. So I don't know if this is the fact that it's smoked or if it just comes right out of Chiemsee, but it is so fresh and so fishy tasting. Maybe if you don't like fish that much, don't get this, but I am loving it. Thanks to the Flammkuchen guy for this amazing tip.
So I think it's fair to say that this day trip has been logistically complicated. With so many different methods of transportation all woven together, it can be easy to forget a piece or get lost entirely. And as helpful as this video has been, as my channel always is, you can't exactly carry it with you when you're on vacation. So please let me remind you of near.fromhome.com/itineraries, where I have put together a complete guide with geotagged locations, website links, and tips and tricks that couldn't quite make it into the video, all to make your travels that much easier. So follow the QR code that you see on the screen right now. The link is in the description, and take our channel along with you in your pocket. Something else that I think also makes this market incredibly unique is how all the hotels, restaurants, and businesses on the island can take part in the Christmas market too, opening up their fantastic properties and making the market that much bigger. And as our boat comes in, I think that's gonna have to about do it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it half as much as I've enjoyed making it, because I think it has been incredible. So if you agree, naturally, I'm gonna remind you again to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our itinerary guides if you want, as they are the perfect way to support the channel. And of course, I'll see you in the next Christmas market video, wherever that might be. I can't believe I get to ride the steam engine twice in one day and at night.